In AS Media Studies, I had the option to create either a magazine or a film opening. I opted to create a magazine rather than a film opening, driven by my deep appreciation for photography as a great tool for emotional and social communication. My chosen magazine project, titled Ending Period Poverty in Pakistan, addresses an often ignored yet critically impactful social issue that is period poverty. While conducting extensive research on the social issues affecting Pakistan, I stumbled upon the topic of period poverty. Initially, it appeared as just another challenge among many facing underprivileged communities. But as I delved deeper into the specifics, the severity and complexity of the issue became startlingly clear, revealing a harsh reality far worse than what was commonly perceived. Period poverty, I discovered, is not merely about lacking access to sanitary products. It's deeply interwoven with cultural stigmas, educational gaps, and systematic inequalities that profoundly affect women's health, dignity, and most importantly, social standing. The more I explored, the more apparent it became that period poverty is a vicious cycle of ignorance and taboo. In Pakistan, nearly 79% of women and girls suffer because of inadequate menstrual hygiene management every single month, not just due to financial constraints, but also because of deep seated cultural norms that consider menstruation a subject unfit for open discussion. This silence is compounded by a glaring lack of formal education on menstrual health, leaving many women and girls to rely on unsafe and ineffective methods that can lead to severe health complications, including reproductive and urinary tract infections, which in severe cases have led to infertility and increased risk of cervical cancer. This issue, deeply entrenched in the socio cultural fabric of Pakistan, represents a perpetual cycle of illiteracy and stigma that disproportionately affects women, particularly in rural areas. In this context, my magazine challenges the traditional conventions of mainstream media by focusing on this sensitive topic, aiming to elevate public discourse and provoke thought on a subject that is often deemed a social taboo. My research involved interviews with healthcare professionals, visits to rural and urban clinics, and interactions with women directly affected by period poverty. Each conversation revealed layers of struggle from young girls missing school during their periods to older women who had endured decades of reproductive health issues without proper care or support. These insights were distressing and highlighted the systematic failure to address women's health as a public health priority. As my understanding deepened, it became imperative to spotlight this issue. The raw and compelling stories I encountered underscored the urgency of bringing period poverty into public discourse and advocating for substantial changes in policy and community practices. Through my magazine, I aim not just to raise awareness, but also to advocate for meaningful changes that could transform the lives of countless women across the country or even across the globe, advocating for a future where period health is not shrouded in secrecy, but approached as a fundamental aspect of women's rights and human dignity. Moving to the process of magazine creation, in preparing to craft my magazine, understanding and applying codes and conventions was a crucial step. Before diving into the creative process, I needed to grasp fully what these terms meant, which involved extensive research. The foundational principles I gathered, which I've discussed in one of my blog posts, formed the backbone of my approach to magazine design. While developing the magazine, it was vital to adhere to traditional magazine conventions to ensure a professional appearance. This included incorporating a prominent masthead in bold typography, a well defined issue date, engaging cover lines centrally placed for immediate impact, and a barcode strategically positioned in the bottom right corner. Given the depth of my commitment to addressing period poverty, a topic which is deeply personal to me, I began planning every detail months ahead to mitigate any potential issues. To capture the raw essence of this societal issue, I chose to shoot in a rural village setting, believing that a woman depicted against a backdrop of stark trees and a natural light would powerfully highlight the theme. The concept had been evolving in my mind for some time, demanding careful consideration of visual elements like lighting and composition to ensure the photographs conveyed the intended message powerfully. As for the equipment was the least of my worries as I rented a high quality DSLR camera for the shoot, ensuring technical excellence to match the magazine's thematic depth. Ending period poverty in Pakistan not only adheres to documentary and advocacy magazine conventions through its investigative and narrative style, but also pushes these boundaries further. It introduces readers to the harsh realities faced by women due to inadequate access to menstrual health education and sanitary resources. publication's heavily text-based layout is designed to provide a comprehensive understanding of the issue, backed by data, interviews, and on-ground reports, ensuring readers grasp the severity and complexity of period poverty while also sticking to the facts. The magazine features a range of articles and stories, such as the personal journey of Zulekha Bibi, a 43-year-old woman from Palmandi, a village near Lahore. Her story of silence, suffering, and exploitation underlines the devastating consequences of period poverty, extending from health complications to affecting marital prospects and social standing. This narrative is complemented by investigative pieces that delve into the broader implications of period poverty on mental health, education, and societal integration. Visually, the magazine employs stark and impactful imagery chosen to capture the attention of the viewer and convey the urgent nature of its content. The design strategy uses bold text overlays and compelling photographs of affected individuals and their environments, enhancing the emotional impact and driving the message home. During the production process, my team and I faced considerable challenges, particularly in gathering visual content. Our visits to conservative rural communities were met with resistance. Many locals were hesitant to discuss or be photographed discussing menstrual health. This reluctance served to highlight the stigma and silence surrounding the topic, ironically underscoring the magazine's necessity. Each page of Ending Period Poverty in Pakistan is crafted not just to inform but to incite action. It serves as a platform for silenced voices, advocating for significant societal change through education and awareness. The magazine not only uses media conventions to attract and educate its audience, but also challenges societal norms by focusing on a taboo subject, thus fostering a critical dialogue that aims to reshape perceptions and encourage societal and policy reforms towards gender equity and health education. In conclusion, this magazine project goes beyond the confines of a typical assignment. It is a passionate plea for awareness and action, a meticulous blend of journalism and advocacy, designed to inform, impact, and inspire not just local communities, but also potential policymakers and global audiences about the imperative to end period poverty on a mass scale.